What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best places to live in the $300,000 price range in the Winston-Salem area. Let's get into it. My name is Ramon Lamelli. I'm a local realtor and the team leader of the Smart Move Group brokered by eXp Realty here in Winston-Salem, as well as all the surrounding areas. And the reason I wanted to make this video for you guys today is because I get a ton of people coming to the area, moving to the Winston-Salem area from all over the country usually, and they want to know and they want to ask me, hey, if you had a certain budget, where would you live? What's the best places to live? What is the best bang for the buck in this price range? So in today's video, we're going to be covering the $300,000 to $400,000 price range. And if you guys like this video, I'll do this same kind of video for different price ranges as well. And I just want to take a quick second to remind you that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all I can do to help, maybe a free consultation, the number on the screen is my cell phone number. You can call me, you can shoot me a text. Also, my email is in the about section of this video. I do have some helpful links like the Winston-Salem relocation guide. It's in the about section as well. And of course, if you guys want to be my friend on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, feel free to check those out. The links are in the about section as well. So the Winston-Salem metropolitan area is a very wide, large area, and because of that, thankfully, we have many options in the $300,000 to $400,000 price point. So that means that if you're a fan of the rural country living, we got you covered. If you like the neighborhood subdivisions, we got you covered. If you like to be close to downtown, where everything is going on in the city, we got you covered there as well. So because people keep asking me, where I would live for a certain price point or certain budget, because some of those people aren't from the area, I'm going to be showcasing some neighborhoods that I think are the best bang for the buck. Up first, we're going to check out a lovely neighborhood called Abington in the town of Kernersville. Kernersville is very popular. In fact, it's one of the more popular suburbs of Winston-Salem. And one of the reasons it's so popular is because of its proximity to both Winston-Salem and Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a popular growing town with a really quaint, small downtown area. It's really cute. You got to go through there. It's very small though, but it's very convenient because it's not only close to Winston-Salem, but it's also really close to Greensboro. And like I said, that's convenient if you have maybe a spouse that works in Greensboro and the other one works in Winston-Salem. Maybe you have family in Winston, but you commute to work to Greensboro every day. So for those reasons, it's very popular. Kernersville is actually only 10 miles outside of Winston-Salem, and it has a population of about 27,000 people, so it's quite small. And there are actually a ton of different options when your budget is between $300,000 and $400,000 inside of Kernersville, sometimes including new construction. But in today's video, we're going to be focusing on Abington. Abington is a neighborhood with a little bit over 100 homes. Now, most of these homes are actually going to be built in the late 1980s. All the way to the early 2000s. Now, one thing that I personally love about Abington is something that new construction neighborhoods lack, which is mature landscaping. Also, as you can see, the homes seem to be very well spaced apart. It's not like in a lot of those new construction neighborhoods where the homes seem to be a lot closer together. Most of these homes are going to be between 3 and 4 bedrooms, anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 square foot. So there's a lot of options when it comes to square footage there. You do have some with basements, some have 1-car garage, some have 2-car garage. And typically inside of Abington, you're going to be getting about half an acre of land, a little less, a little more. Now, in the last year inside of Abington, 37 homes have sold with an average price point of about $343,000, so about $350,000. So in Abington, you're going to get an established neighborhood in the mid 300s that's close to Winston-Salem, close to Greensboro. It does have a little bit of that rural feeling as you're getting to Abington as well. So if you're a fan of that, you're going to enjoy that. Now let's head on down to Winston-Salem, where we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite neighborhoods, which is going to be Ardmore. Now, if you've been a fan of this channel or been watching some of my videos, I bring up Ardmore a lot, and maybe that's just a personal thing, but I just think it's an amazing neighborhood and I would love to live there. One of the many reasons that I'm a fan of Ardmore is because it's only 3 miles from downtown Winston-Salem. So if you like to go to a play, a movie, a show, or maybe hit a bar every now and then, this is going to be super convenient. You're also close to 2 very large hospitals here in Winston-Salem, 2 major hospitals. So you find that a lot of the people that work at those hospitals live inside of Ardmore. It also happens to be the largest historic district in Winston-Salem, and Ardmore was established in the early 1900s. Now, this isn't going to be a smaller neighborhood by any means. We are talking about just over 500 home sites. Now, one of the things that I really enjoy about Ardmore is the community there. Everyone's so friendly and hospitable, and it seems like everyone knows each other. But not only that, but there are several businesses that are actually inside the neighborhood. They're, Ardmore businesses. Breweries, you have restaurants, you have barbershops, you have grocery stores, you have a park. So there's a ton of things to do inside of Ardmore. You really don't even have to leave. Also, one of the coolest things about Ardmore is the styles of homes that you find inside of Ardmore. Anything from craftsmen's, cottages, Victorian. So if you're a fan of like century-old kind of architecture and those styles of homes, you're definitely going to love Ardmore. Now I'm going to give you some averages, about facts about Ardmore, but keep in mind that it is a very large neighborhood and homes have been built in different eras and different styles, and I believe there's even new construction going on in Ardmore now. Typically in Ardmore, you're going to see smaller lots, quarter acre, maybe less, so you're not talking about, homes with land here. Most of the homes in Ardmore are going to be 3-bedroom, 2-bath. There are some exceptions here and there, but these aren't big homes. 1,600 square feet seems to be the average. And because that neighborhood is so big, 171 homes have sold over the last year with an average price point of about $314,000. So for the low 300s in Winston-Salem, in this neighborhood that we love, that we call Ardmore, you're getting a historic home. You're gonna get some kind of craftsman-y or Victorian or cottage, kind of old school, cool architecture. You're gonna be close to downtown, close to hospitals, and you're gonna be a part of a wonderful community. Next, we're gonna talk about a town that very few people talk about. Before we do that though, I just want to remind you that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or there's anything at all I can do to help, feel free to reach out. You can call me, shoot me a text, or send me an email. I have some awesome, helpful links as well as all my social media handles in case you want to be friends on there. And do me a huge favor, if you're getting any kind of value out of this video, go down there, hit that like button, leave me a comment where you're watching this video from, but above all, subscribe. Those kinds of things keep me motivated to keep pumping out these videos for you. Let's get back into it. And next we're headed to Pofftown and we're gonna look at Pofftown Village. The first thing I want to tell you about Pofftown is the spelling. I've lived in North Carolina for almost 20 years and I'm still not 100% sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's Pfafftown. So Pofftown is a very small town that has been incorporated into Winston-Salem. And if I had to describe Pofftown, we're talking about a community that's a little bit more rural. It is kind of, what's the right word, fancy. There are a lot of nicer high-end homes inside of Pofftown as well. And as of late, they're building a lot of really beautiful homes out there. So it seems like home values keep rising there. Now, Pofftown does have its own set of great amenities, but also you're 5-10 minutes away from Winston-Salem proper. So you can be at major shopping centers in the drop of a hat. Now, like I mentioned, they do have great parks, schools, and restaurants, but because it is a smaller community, there's not a ton of options when it comes to, finding a home to live in. And that's probably one of the main reasons why it's such a competitive market inside of Pofftown. So the neighborhood Pofftown Village is actually a relatively small neighborhood that not many people know of or have heard of. That's why I think it's a hidden gem and it belongs on this list. And as you can see, most of these homes were built between the 1990s to the early 2000s thereabouts. Now the homes inside of Pofftown Village do vary in size and age built. However, most of them are going to be 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,200 square foot or so. So larger homes on the larger side, certainly. You're also going to find that most of the homes here have at least half an acre, but most of them are closer to 0.75 or 3/4 of an acre. They don't really vary when it comes to the style of the home. As you can see, these are going to be 2-story kind of traditional style homes with garage. Inside of Pofftown Village, there's only been 11 sales in the past year with an average price point of about $336,000. So in the mid to low 300s, you're talking about getting a beautiful home in a more rural setting, but being very conveniently located as it comes to being close to Winston-Salem. You're definitely off the beaten path when you're in Pofftown Village, but it takes no time to get to Winston-Salem. Now let's head on down to Clemmons. We're going to talk about a longtime favorite, Clemens West. Quick sidebar, not every neighborhood has the town's name in it. This just happens to be two kind of coincidence, but moving on. So Clemens is only actually 9 miles south of Winston-Salem. It's only a couple exits away, really. The growth in Clemens is insane. Not only are you getting new neighborhoods sprouting out left and right, but also there's a ton of business coming to the area, a lot of shopping centers popping up left and right. So it's definitely one of these neighborhoods or these towns that are growing very rapidly. They have several grocery stores, many options when it comes to dining and bars and things to do. And one thing that could be a pro or a con to you, depending on how you look at it, most of everything to do in Clemmons is on Louisville-Clemmons Road, which is one straight shot down the middle. You also have some fantastic schools in the area, as well as some really friendly people, and that's probably one of the reasons why Clemmons, just like Kernersville, is a very, very popular suburb of Winston-Salem. It's more well known than some of these others that we'll talk about today, but Clemmons definitely stands out. Clemens West is going to be a medium to larger sized neighborhood. Now this neighborhood is well established, and one of the biggest reasons why people love Clemmons is that there's no HOA, which is kind of harder and harder to find inside of Clemmons. Now, even though there's no HOA, there is an optional pool membership for the membership pool. It's a yearly membership. You can opt in to do it, or you can opt out of it. Most of the homes in Clemens West were built in the 70s, but they go all the way up to the early 2000s. 2000s. You see a lot of brick 2-story homes, you see a lot of brick ranchers, Cape Cods, some more traditional homes in there as well. Now, because this is an established neighborhood, you're gonna see a lot of mature landscaping, but also there's a lot of little kind of, maybe lakes is not the right word, but large ponds scattered kind of throughout the neighborhood, which is really cool. The average home in Clemens West sits on 0.6 of an acre, so you're getting quite a bit of land and you're well spaced apart from your neighbor. And typically you're gonna get homes with 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and about 2,500 square foot. So we're talking about larger homes here. In the last year, 22 homes have sold here, bringing the average price to about $399,000. Now, this one barely made the list, but I wanted to include it because it's such a nice neighborhood that you're definitely gonna enjoy if you decide to live here. And you can usually get a home here that, you know, maybe needs some cosmetic work, painting for, and things of that nature. Maybe it needs a, you know, HVAC replaced, closer to the mid 300s. So, you know, look out for one of those if you really like Clemens West. And even though we're kind of at the top end of the budget here, we are talking about a home in a really established neighborhood that's very well known. People really enjoy living in Clemens West. You're also in one of the most popular suburbs of Winston-Salem. You're close to the highway, tons of shopping, entertainment, great schools, and many more things. Up next, we're gonna talk about a awesome neighborhood in the town of Advance. Before we do that, I do have to give you my last plug of the day of the video. You know, do me a favor, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, that's why I do these videos. Feel free to call me, shoot me a text. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. Like, comment, subscribe, that helps the channel a lot, and it really does help keep me motivated to, you know, keep pumping out these videos. So Advance, North Carolina, by the way, it's a weird pronunciation. When you're talking about the word advance, you say advance, but the town is called Advance. Spelled the same weird. When you get here, you're gonna know what you're talking about when you hear the words, but it's confusing. But it's a very small town located about 11 miles away from Winston-Salem, so just a few more exits down the road there. Now, kind of like Pofftown, Advance has this, you know, feeling of being rural yet fancy. It's kind of hard to describe until you get here because, you know, you have a lot of homes with a ton of land besides them, but those homes are usually going to be very, very nice. And honestly, there are some really prominent neighborhoods inside of Advance, North Carolina, but those are going to be well above the budget that we're talking about today. So one more thing about Advance that I think you should know, it happens to be in the next county over, which is Davie County. So that means that the taxes are going to be a lot cheaper, and that's why a lot of people love anything in Advance, because you're still really close to Winston-Salem, but you enjoy cheaper Davie County taxes. There's a new high school in Davie County, relatively close to Advance. There's a new hospital. Well, it's about 10, 12 years old now, but it's still kind of a newer hospital. And Advance, I heard they're just opening a Chick-fil-A down the road there in Advance, so it's growing still quite rapidly. In Kinderton Village, you're really close to Highway 40, and you're really close to a lot of the main things to do in Advance, which is going to be, you know, shopping and dining. You also have a grocery store down the road. You also have a hospital essentially across the street from the neighborhood, so it's really convenient. Kinderton Village was established around the early 2000s, but one of the cool things is that there's a lot of different styles of homes. You have your traditional single-family standing homes. You also have some condos and townhomes in there. You have homes that are closer together. You have homes that are all 1-story on a street. You have some that are 2-story. You have some that have alley parking. So there's a lot of different kind of sections or zones, or, you know, different kinds of homes built in different areas of Kinderton Village, which I think kind of adds a little bit of a appeal to it. There's also a lake that you can walk by as part of your amenities for living inside of Kinderton Village in that neighborhood. And there's also a large open kind of a park recreation area kind of in the middle of Kinderton Village. As far as single family homes, there are 57 home sites inside of Kinderton Village. All the homes here have a certain aesthetic, which I really like. Let me know if you like it as well or not. And there is an HOA here, but it's only about $65 a month. So all in all, it's not that bad. And they really take good care of the neighborhood. Now, like I said, homes in Kinderton Village vary in style and type and size, but typically you're talking about a 2-story, 4-bedroom, 2.5 to 3-bathroom home. And usually we are going to be on the larger side, about 2,500 square feet. And in the last year, 19 homes have sold here, putting the average price point around $387,000. So once again, we're in the higher end of that $300,000 range, but you're getting some amazingly well-built homes, centrally located right by Interstate 40. You're getting cheaper Davie County taxes as opposed to Forsyth County taxes. All right, guys, we did it. We're at the end of the video. Before you go and click on another video, probably one of my competitors, do me a favor, hit that like button, leave me a comment, but above all, subscribe. That does help the channel a lot, keeps me motivated. And if you need anything at all from me, feel free to reach out. I'm always available. Call, text, email. This cell phone number that I put on here is my cell phone number directly. You're not going to talk to anyone else but me. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.